Okay, so I just want to follow up on the video I did before on Ashley's case. I just gave the quick update when the breaking news came in about her case being dismissed, and there's just a few more details that have come out now in the news as everyone's been updating. So, as I mentioned before, if you did not see the prior video, Ashley Buzzard's felony false imprisonment charges were dismissed today by the judge in Lompoc, California. Now, it says that Santa Barbara County Superior Court Judge Stephen Dunkel made the ruling Thursday in a Lompoc courtroom following more than 2 hours of testimony in Ashley Buzzard's preliminary hearing. The hearing was the third and now final in just over a week following Buzzard's November 7th arrest. The media was only allowed to take pictures during the hearing. No video or audio recording was permitted, and pictures of the alleged victim were also prohibited. Now, the felony charge stemmed from the November 6th incident at Buzzard's Mars Avenue home involving a man identified as Tyler S. Brewer. In court, he said he was a legal document assistant and freelance paralegal. While on the stand, Brewer described the approximately 5 visits he made to Buzzard's home between November 1st and 6th after reaching out to her, offering assistance should she need it. He told the court he first met Buzzard back in 2014 while friends with Buzzard's then roommate. The focus of today's hearing was on Brewer's testimony. He said he felt threatened by Buzzard the evening of November 6th while at Buzzard's home for more than an hour. He claims Buzzard's demeanor changed during their conversation and that she had a box cutter and he wasn't allowed to leave. Buzzard denied the charges, which authorities say are unrelated to the missing child investigation involving her 9-year-old daughter, Melodee. The judge ultimately ruled to dismiss the criminal complaint against Buzzard and terminate pretrial supervision. The GPS device was placed on Buzzard last week following another judge's ruling that she could be released from custody. The judge stated that an audio recording taken of Buzzard from the last night Brewer was at her home did not show enough evidence for Brewer to have been in fear. The judge also noticed he was not trying to invalidate anyone's, quote, lived experiences. And by that, another article put it in the perspective of the judge acknowledged not wanting to make light of anxiety disorders, which Brewer is known to have. However, his story is not an accurate depiction of what happened that day, as was heard in the recording. So now we move on from this, and that was really the only updates on this case. It's done. There's no more GPS monitoring. I'm curious as to what that means in regards to monitoring Ashley. I wonder if the audio that was recorded was actually audio recorded through maybe FBI. I wonder if they had bugged the home. But that proved that case was wrong. But we need to focus back on the big question at hand is, where is Melodee, right? Now, something I wanted to bring up because it's been on my mind, and this is just speculation and thoughts because that's all you can kind of do at this point. And I'm wondering everyone else's thoughts on speculation as well. Just curious. One of the things from the beginning that has stuck out to me was Ashley's storage unit. Now, I first thought that when the story broke and I saw the rental car and I saw that it came back damaged after she had put boxes in it and such, I had made a video in the very beginning that I thought she damaged it maybe on the yellow bollards, and the closest thing was there was a storage unit facility with a 3-minute drive. And based on the context of the reporting, she had left and came back pretty quickly, and that damage had occurred. So I was just trying to put the pieces together, doing my own little investigative work, and thought there might be a storage unit. And I did submit that tip, and I preface it with saying, I don't know for sure, but I think this should be looked into, that, because she disappeared with boxes and came back with none, I wasn't sure what was going on. It seemed like you should check into that. Now, I don't know what that led to or anything, but we find out that she did have a storage unit. And it was reported that, agents did show up eventually and search it, and then more came. And they searched the storage unit for 4 days. That's a lot of time to spend on a storage unit, in my opinion. Now, I don't know the size of the storage unit. But the thing that always stuck out to me was why the question I ask, and I like to think what questions you're asking in this. What are we thinking of? Why does Ashley have a storage unit? That home is a 3-bedroom home with a huge garage. Even if she was thinking of moving and wanted to pack up boxes and get stuff ready, there's so much room to do that and place them in a garage ready to move, right? Like if you had got a moving truck, you'd load it all up then. It doesn't make sense to me why someone would go get a storage unit, put out money and funds that they don't seem to maybe have the budget for, right? Because that's another issue that we do know. The income Ashley gets is primarily for the Social Security that comes in for Melodee's dad that passed away when she was younger, the survivor benefits. So it stands out because it doesn't make sense. My other thoughts are, is she the only one that has access to that storage unit? Is that a shared storage unit? Is it in her name? Is it in somebody else's name? And what did they find? In connection with that, I looked at the map when it came out of the route that Ashley drove. And I know people initially started talking about possible human trafficking. And again, connecting the fact that Ashley does not seem to have a lot of money that comes in and a lot of income. Did she do something like that? You know, did the mental health play a role in that? Did she kind of freak out? So, but I don't think, my intuition did not think that she would do that. It's also not as common. Like, you don't just Google, where do I go drop off a kid for human trafficking? Like, it's just, I don't think she would have the capabilities to do something like that. What I did think was, and when I look at the map and I was laying it over, is I actually looked up, I don't want to say the word because I want to get like strikes on social media, but DRUG, I'll just say rug. I looked up rug trafficking routes and I was overlaying the map on that. I mean, and similar to, I guess you would say, human trafficking routes, it's the same kind of direction. And that's what got me to thinking and wondering, again, speculation. This is all speculation. I just want to put that out there. This is just, I'm giving you what's going on in my mind. Is it possible that to make extra income, she would maybe do a rug run? Is the storage unit involved in that? Is that where things get dropped off, picked up? Because the fact too is that the distance, she did it quickly. You know, that's a fast, to go that route, like, and change license plates, right? To try to avoid detection. Like, these are just the clues that stand out to me and was something that made me think maybe she thought this is something for her that she can do to get money. We see she's getting packages all the time, so she likes to shop. And maybe she felt it was a way to make ends meet and didn't think much of it having Melodee in the car with her, but maybe something went wrong with a transaction or a drop off, or maybe there was some type of collateral of we're holding her till you complete like another, like, I'm just spitting things out, but that to me seems more plausible than maybe, than like human trafficking or something like that. You know, dropping her off somewhere could have been possible too. I would love to know everyone else's thoughts on this. And for me, again, I'm looking at questions of what do I ask to find, what could have happened, or what would Ashley do in these scenarios. And I think it's just, I'm looking at the pieces of income's an issue. We know that is a very limited thing for her. She's basically living off of the survivor benefits of Melodee's father that passed away. It's been implied that the housing is provided by Section 8 housing. She does not work, and it's been said she can't hold a job due to her mental health issues. We know that she withhold herself and Melodee from society, pretty much. She doesn't involve herself with anyone. She has lost custody of her first daughter completely, which absolutely had to leave some scar and concerned of losing Melodee permanently again because she lost her temporarily. During another time, we know mental health is a massive issue in this case, and there's possible schizophrenia involved. Again, some speculation here, okay? We know that she has that home. We know that she does not have a car. She does use rental cars. She has that storage unit, which is the big question mark in my mind. Big question mark right there for me. So the other thing is she doesn't seem to know a lot of people. So I just, like, who would she drop Melodee off to? And if something happened, did something happen accidentally along the way? If speculation, this was a rug run because something have accidentally happened that got out, depending on what type it was that did cause harm, that was not intended. And there was an accident. And if you're involved in something like that, there's people to be scared of. This is all speculation. So I don't want anyone to take anything I'm saying right now with a grain of salt, okay? Because if I'm telling you facts, I'm telling you facts. But I'm also going to take the chance to kind of maybe just spiral with everyone else, and think these things out loud because maybe somebody else knows something or has seen anything. The storage unit is just, I'm stuck on the storage unit. I want to know more about that. I'm really curious what they found and how they spent 4 days on that. I just haven't seen much more info. And I think because it was in a house in a residential area, you don't have people really with an eye on it. So if anyone knows anything about that, wants to share, if there was any clues that came out of that, it'd be great. Anyway, thanks for hanging with me as I just talk to myself in my phone. I'm curious your thoughts on this. Like, what do you think is going on? What do you think happened? Do you have any speculations yourself? Drop them below. Just feel like we're just all spitballing and just asking the questions. I think it's the questions that matter, right? Questions, and comparing that with what we do know to see if there's any clues that lead anywhere to Melodee. As time goes on longer, it is just more concerning every single day that goes by of where that little girl is, or if anything absolutely horrible has happened to her. And I'm sure everybody can feel that. So thank you for listening to me ramble on. I'm the light. If you haven't, and you like for random rambles, please follow me. Okay. We'll do that here sometimes, and you can ramble along with me in the comments, but thanks. And I will see you on the next one. I've got more cases to cover today. A lot of updates.